Okay, I need a stable place to hold this phone. Ooh, right there would be perfect. If I could just put something in front of you. Okay, maybe it's going to have to be my hands. Putting my hand in front of me. Week, WP girl, Marv got jokes, and one other person joined. Hey, y'all. Week 8. Week 9. Ooh, week 9 of the Artist Way. I had to skip a week. Hey, Kim, KK1. Hey, best friend. Y'all, I had to skip a week for because I had a film reads and then of course I was getting T-Money. Then of course I had to, where's the lighting good at? The lighting is good right here, but I guess I'm gonna have to hold it the whole time. I had to skip a week from the Artist Way, but this is week 9 because I was doing like a film read. We wrote a script, finished the script. First of all, can I just praise the Lord for finishing the script? Do you know how many projects people start and can't finish? Hey, taking them back to 1996. Boo, yes, taking them back. Charismanji. Hey, Charismanji. But anyway, praise the Lord for finishing the script. Then we had to have a table read, so I had to skip a week. And you know what I realized too is, sometimes you'd be doing something, you be having such a guilt for like, I promised myself I was going to do it. But the good thing is I'm back on it now. And of course I was skipping for good reasons. Hey, how are you? So child, this is the thing. Week 8 is week 9. Recovering my sense of compassion. Why am I guessing when I could just go get the book? Recovering my sense of compassion. And I see a better place to sit. All I got in my house is places to sit. Child, I am the sit down queen. Okay? All I got is places to sit. So this is one I made like a little corner. You see my little corner by the window? I always want like a little bench so I could sit by the window. I could read, I could pray, and of course I normally have my fish in the window. Let me show you the fish right here. There go. He running. Okay, there go Mimu. That's Mimu right here. I be putting a little mirror there because they say the mirror they'll try to fight themselves, and it increases the color because these are fighting fish. Lounge areas. Best friend, yes. Lounge, the ultimate lounge area. Here go the kitchen lounge area. See how they got it like a little cafe in the kitchen, okay? Because girl, I love a cafe. So anyway, I love a window in the kitchen. It don't got to be but I just made a cafe style. But I just want to say something that is just so amazing about life. Let me show y'all some stuff that I have found, okay? I was showing my good friend Shaw this morning stuff that I found. I am a person that I really want to have a show where I remodel people's homes, and I do it all for like either free or like real, like low cost, because the thing about it too is I'm a vintage girl. I love going to a vintage store and finding things. Like I just feel like all of these are like great conversation pieces. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I like it. I like it to be different. So, like for instance, okay, the people in my building, they know that I collect stuff. Okay. So first of all, the people when I first moved in my building, I was moving from this place, and I was like, I'm just gonna get rid of the bed. I just kept wanting kept saying a platform bed. Okay, but then when I moved in here, child, I was gonna get the mattress from around the corner. I wanted to get, because I had my bed on the floor because of building damage or whatever. So anyway, so I was like, I just want to lift my bed off of the floor and get a platform bed. So when I was moving in here, I asked these people, I said, after I got everything in here, I was like, y'all wouldn't happen to have a platform, bed, right? And he was like, Actually, we do. We have a platform bed. The people in the apartment next door just moved from you, and they just say got it 3 months ago, and it was brand new. I was like, what? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I kept saying light wood platform bed, and that's exactly what it is. A light wood platform bed for free. Okay, light wood platform bed, brand new, because that's how the Lord worked. Okay. So then I was about to go get the mattress from around the corner because that mattress has held me slammed down. Okay. And then, but I was just thinking about, I had already put the mattress out, and in LA, child, I don't like to take a mattress. Like, I don't want to carry a mattress outside. Okay. So I was just like, I don't, because this town, honey, I just had an experience with, some creepy crawlies in this town. And I was like, no, so I was going back outside to like get some stuff. And I was like, y'all wouldn't happen to have the mattress with the bed, right? And he was like, actually, we do, because that Jesse got the mattress, like 3 months ago too, and he's brand new mattress, okay? And the Lord knows that I in Isaiah 54, okay, this is gonna be a long thing, okay? In Isaiah 54, you say everything you ask the Father for, He gives to you. Everything we ask the Father for, He gives to us, because you know what the Father says? The Father says, all that I have is mine. That's what when the prodigal son came back and he asked the Father for his forgiveness. The Father was like, please put a ring on this hand, put a coat on him, put the best shoes, cut the fatted calf. Then the other son was mad, okay? And the other son was like, well, you ain't never gave me a party. And the Father said, all that I have is thine. And that's what that's what I have. Look at my little reminders, okay? My little reminders. There you go right here on the light. See it? All that the Father has is mine. It's backwards on here. But I be having all these reminders. Another free thing. When I moved into the building, I didn't get any gifts from the neighbor. But then I came here like a couple months ago, and my neighbor had left this as a gift. Free. On my doorstep. Here's the thing I want to show y'all. Now, I told you, the Father says in Isaiah 54 that, and of course I take this for, you say, where are the kids? Here go one of the kids right here. Okay, wait. Anytime I'm in the kitchen, they in the kitchen. Bun, say what's up. You heard her say what's up. In Isaiah 54, okay, I'm gonna get to this point. Alphabets on the fridge, yes. First of all, y'all notice everything. So anyway, so when in Isaiah 54, the Father says that your husband is your maker. Of course, I love that scripture, because I want a husband, but I want to also be patient for the right husband, because let me tell you something, honey. I am the type of person, I am so loving, so nurturing. I will pick up a project. I will pick up potential. And that is not what the Father meant for us. So I take Isaiah 54 and I remind myself of it all the time, which it says all the time. Let me see. No weapon formed against you will prosper. Let me find it right here. It says, for thy maker is thine husband. Isaiah 54:5. For thy maker is thine husband. Now, the reason why it means so much to me is because the Lord really shows me how He husbands me. And I feel like it's when I get things like that, He knows, like, I'm looking for a bed, a brand new bed just happened to be here at the place that He got for me. The place He got for me is just having a building. I just happen to be like, I wonder how that building would be. Then you get me a place. Then I said, Lord, I just need a nice view. I just want a window in the kitchen. But, He knows I love working at cafes. So, ta-da, He got me a whole cafe in my kitchen. You know what I'm saying? A whole little cafe where I could work right here, look out the window, and have a nice view of the hills. So, but He also knows I love free like, to find little things, because when I find things on the street, it just lets me know that the Father knows to keep going. So look what I found one day. Okay. Door, you trying to come off the hinge and I rebuke you. Okay. I will. So look, one day I was going to the pet store. Somebody has custom made. These are handmade Mexican. I figured they're the kind of things that, you put the Moscow mute. Handmade. Twitter. Let me get the other one. Brand new. Never used. Okay? Never used. Brand new. You'd have made them. Right here. That's what is in a box. Outside the pet store, in a box, these two. Nothing ever in them. You can see it. I haven't even used them yet. Brand new. I was like, who just left these out here? But I just be feeling like the Father, because look, they right outside the pet store. There's a wine store that's not too far from there, but like in a box that's just sitting there on the curb is these two in a box. So I was like, okay, Father, it's my gift. He knows I love them so much. So then a couple weeks after that, maybe a month after that, maybe even further after that, maybe a few months after that, but like right before I have my little housewarming party and invite my friends over. Yes, I'm in LA. I invite my friends over. Now, I already showed y'all the Father has sent me these two right here. Okay? It sent me these two right here, just randomly going to the pet store. Okay? I'm walking the dogs one day. Guess what I got? Now, these are the two mugs. Okay? Guess what he sent me when I walk around the corner? This right here. The jar. The pitcher. Brand new, never used. So, see, I feel like this is the Father. Let me show you how to set together. That's the Father right there. That's how the Father works. He is just like, I got a housewarming gift for you. Right here. Right here. So anyway, yesterday, I saw this Chinese this Chinese vase like this, one of these big old vases, but it was one of them like big ones that you see in an ancient place, And of course I looked at it and I was just, it's like Asian print, Asian people. And of course I'm before I bring something in the house, thank you so much. Before I bring something in the house, I always think about, what does this mean? What energy am I bringing into the house? You know what I'm saying? And so I was looking at the Asian print. It was like the geisha Asian everything. And I was just wondering, I was like, what does this mean? Because I saw on the vase, the big old vase, like all these women that was around this one man, they were kind of like rubbing the man. And this was just, a print on the vase, and it was so pretty. But I just kept thinking what does this mean? Is this like polygamy? Is this, is this a whole bunch of concubines? And I wasn't sure of the messaging. So I was like, I don't think I'm gonna take the vase, because I would have had to clean down in there. And I'm real skeptical about bringing, but somebody had also left another big old Asian print vase down there, and a big old, a real nice Asian print dresser. So I was like, okay, this is for somebody else. But I looked inside of the vase. Guess what the Lord had for me inside of the vase right here? See these look at these little peacocks. Okay, now let me show you how the peacocks right up close and personal. Because see, he knows I will appreciate. Look at this. Now these are like little pendants, okay? But I just put them right in the window because they just look so perfect right there with my plants. Sometimes I have the fish right there, and there's 4 of them. I thought it was going to be my mom and them coming to town, so I'll give them one. But no, it's just like my own little birds that's right here that sit outside of it. You see how they sit outside of it? Anyway, I had to take. Oh, and also, too, my plants. Okay, so my plants this is my original plant. I went and got this plant. This plant is called Health, okay? Brought that plant back to life. That plant was about to die. And it had actually died, but I had brought it back to life. And now she's got stalks. She's got everything. She's got things on it. So anyway, so I had this other like big old snake plant, and it was just withering away because it was like, it's hot in the kitchen. Yes, right. Thank you so much. So it was just hot in the kitchen. It was withering away. And then this other plant, this fern I had, ferns. Honey, I can't keep a fern alive to save my life. I don't know if they need light. I don't know if they need dark. I don't know if they need moisture. I thought they need to drink a lot, but I don't know. I don't have the environment for a fern, but I got the environment for the ivories, So anyway, so I just said to myself one day, I went outside and I was like, y'all, I looked on the top of the refrigerator where I used to keep the plants, and I was like, y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go. If y'all dying, I'm gonna need to give y'all a proper burial, and I'm getting y'all out of here, okay? I took the plants outside. I put the plants in the trash except for health, okay? And except for this other one that I just had to revive after the fires. After the fire, she had like 3 leaves left, okay? But I done revived her right here. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You say, I look forward to seeing you on the big screen. Thank you so much. And that's what I'm going for. So anyway, so I revived her. So it was just her and health, okay? This is Boom, her name. So I just took the rest of the plants and I threw them away, and I was like, that's it. I can't deal with it no more. I'm not going to be having dead things in my home. I go outside the next day because I let those plants go. And guess what? Someone has left me all 4 of these plants. Look at this. These 2 plants together. This plant right here, okay, which I call Success. And this one right here. Now, it was another plant too, but she started dying too. So I just had to give her a proper, because I let it go. Okay. Week 8. Week 9. I keep saying 8, but it's actually 9. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for coming in. Week 9 for the Artist's Way. I'm reading the Artist's Way. Recovering my sense of compassion. Okay, recovering my sense of compassion. And, the compassion that you have on yourself. Oh, my word. It's the one that helps you to have compassion on other people, because sometimes we have compassion on other people and then we go and we beat ourselves up. And so I just literally was making sure to let all offenses go. You say you back on the big screen. D, the movie you played in Lifetime was good too. Thank you so much, best friend. Thank you so much. So anyway, so I just decided this week I'm letting all, like not this week, but in the last couple of weeks, because I skipped a week, but it was so healing to read Recovering a Sense of Compassion, because, sometimes so anyway, so in reading that, I just decided I'm letting all offenses go. All week I just been like, you know what? I'm letting all offenses go. I'm asking the Lord for too much, and the Lord is saying, forgive everybody, for the things that I want. And I'm just asking him for so much, and I want to be obedient. So I'm just letting all offenses go. In letting all offenses go, that is where I have been able to develop compassion, because compassion without letting the offense go, I don't think I have it. I don't think I've ever had it until I started saying, you know what? I'm just letting it go. I just can't hold on to them more. Offense is so heavy. It's such a weight. You know what I'm saying? Now that I've been like, I don't care. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. I can't carry it around. No, I'm letting it go. You know what? God bless these people. Now I have been able to go lightly and be like, you know what? They probably didn't even mean that. I don't know what they was going through. It's crazy how it comes up in my mind. But in order, now that I want to be more compassionate, now the offense going out of the way has let me look inside from the person's eyes to be like, I've been there. And now that I look now that I'm looking from their point of view, now immediately I can see the parallels in my own life, the things that I've done to people when I was younger, those will flash up in my mind. And even when those flash up in my mind, I'd be like, honey, you was young. I'm letting all that go. I'm letting all that go. And I feel lighter. I was just talking to a friend of mine this morning, and we were both talking about how we feel younger as we get older. This world wants to, you get older in this world, and I've been a guilty of it too, because, sometimes you feel young, hot, and popping. So you'd be like, oh, please, she is old, he is old. But actually, I feel like when you're growing older and you have this knowledge, you're actually peeling back the layers that was, even when you was older, you was actually younger. When you were younger, you were actually older because you was walking with such a weight from being unhealed. Hey, Q-Bricks. So, week 9 is about having compassion, and it's amazing how much lighter I feel. I sleep. I think about people constantly. I miss y'all too in New York. Okay, I do miss y'all so much in New York, but let me tell you something, Q. Every time I think about coming to New York, I think about the reason that I moved from New York. And the reason that I moved from New York is because I kept thinking to myself, I need to blow up, or I need to go back to work. Because how are you going to live in a house in the hills? I have to make something of myself. I have to make a name for myself. And in New York, I was feeling like I was just I was out of the circle. Like, even though I'm in the hood place, I just felt like, I was just out of the circle. But really, it probably was, I'm out of the circle of myself, so I don't feel like I fit in with anyone, even though I love New York. My friends in New York raised me. I just love, but I just was like, I have to move, and I have to brand myself so that people, the visibility comes with more money. So anyway, you said space, tranquility, peace in NYC. It can be like you on a hamster wheel. I know, and that's what I was feeling like. Q, do you know the room I used to have in the Bronx? That room single-handedly pushed me to LA. I remember people used to call me to get booked in this room, right? And I was booking people in the room, and I had that room for a long time. And that room fed a lot of people. I mean, physically and, financially, literally and financially. But anyway, I remember this guy called, and he called me like for weeks, and he was getting booked. Now, of course, we only pay, yes, I'm from New York. We only paid $100 for the headliner, but he called me for that $100. And I was like, bet, I finally got him in there, and he came, and he had gotten so much older, since I had seen him. And it's not a bad thing. But he had a cane, and he was graying now. And I went home, and I just thought to myself, what are you going to do in 5 years? Are you going to be coming to this room? I was on the train. Honey, it was 2 hours to get on the train to my house to get to the place, and then 2 hours back home. And I had to be, by the time I got back home, I had to be to work in 4 hours. And I just was like, what am I going to do? And I was going to just come to LA, and I was going to visit, and I didn't know what I was going to do, but I was like, I'm just going to visit, and I'm going to stay here for a few months. And then the Lord said, no, you're not. You're moving. You're leaving here, and you're going out, and I have it's just like our father Abraham, where the Lord instructed him to leave his family and to go to another land that the Lord would show him. And, I'm so like, LA has been so fruitful for me because I am a producer. I do feel like people understand my voice. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about race. I'm being a black woman, but I don't want to be the typical, the hood chick. Like, I'm a mix between the hood chick and the intelligent, college educated chick. I feel like I could just be my storytelling, singing self here. And it's not that I didn't feel like I couldn't be that in New York, but I feel like there are so many machines here to grow who that person is. Me being the top machine, because as a producer, that person that produces my own stuff, I feel like in LA, I find where it's just so much more accessible. The studios, the camera people, the lighting, the location, the this and that. So that's what makes me be like, no, this was the town for me because, and then of course, California has a lot of money that they give out. One grants, that I just found out that I didn't get today. And that was another test too, because you know what? More compassion. They said that they was out of funding. And guess what? They've been out of funding before. And I have spoken that it was coming back and that they was going to get it. And it came back. And there was like this $5,000 grant that they was giving out. And they was like, oh no, we already gave it out to certain people. We're going to give it out to these other people. And I kept speaking with my friend. You know what? They're going to bring back a round 3 and it's going to be for more and it's going to be directly for us. And sure enough, they brought it back, the grant back. They brought it strictly for artists who were disenfranchised by the strike or this. And it was 10 G's. It was double of what they wanted. And of course, I received it. Thank you, Jesus. So now, I just heard from this one. They said they handed out all the money. And that's been a test for me all day to be like, Lord, thank you, Jesus. Lord, just my lesson at church on Sunday, my pastor was saying, who am I to deny what the Lord can do? She was like, sometimes we come up with a solution in our brain and then we start praying for that solution, but we may be blocking what the Lord wants us to do, wants to do. And he has so many ways to bless us. So you know what? Let me have more compassion for those people who did receive the grant. I'm glad that they did because people needed that and they was blessed. And I, thank you, Jesus, that I can pay my rent. And thank you so much, Lord, for what you got coming up, because the Lord always got something for me coming up. You know what I'm saying? So I'll say in LA, they definitely work together more BS, because New York, we out here for dolo. I don't know if it's out here for dolo or that it's harder to build a team because one, you have the weather. So once you have the cold weather, you have a bunch of people that retreat back to their place immediately in the cold. Here, even though it's going to get chilly later, we have the weather, so everybody's out and about and everybody's like, yeah, okay, we got down days. I feel like that's a leading factor on where the team building may lack in New York. But I do like when I look at Survival of the Thickest, Michelle got all the comedians on that show. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I'll be on season 3. But I do feel like people are forming teams, but it's I don't know. I'm hoping that, I'm wishing and hoping the best for everybody, because it's hard out here and we getting older. And, I most importantly wish upon everyone more faith, and even that I wish for myself. But I know, going back to what the lesson was about for Artist Way, is in order for me to have more faith, ooh, my word, do I have to have more compassion. Because that compassion, it allows me to forgive. And in Mark 11:23-26, honey, it says, whoever says to this mountain, be removed and be cast into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, he will have whatever he says. And then right after that, it says, and if you have anything against anyone, forgive him, that your Father in heaven may forgive you. And if you don't forgive, your Father in heaven won't forgive you. And I just feel like those two, the Lord, he put those two together because he knows when you have this like hardened heart, your joy is being sacrificed, and we only get things in the joy. Like anytime I don't care about, honey, everything I have ever went and scratched off of this vision board has appeared immediately. It's almost like as soon as I let go, as soon as something is not a God, as soon as something not stresses me out, when I can be like, okay, Lord, I'm good with it, I'm good without it, then the Lord be like, oh, okay, I think you're ready. So that's where I feel like, this week of compassion, I feel like it leads to so many great things. one, I'm walking lighter because I'm like, yes, honey, that was a mistake. I'm thinking about my past self, the past things I've done. And I'm like, yes, that was a mistake. You can make a mistake. You can be imperfect out here and still be in the Lord's love hardcore. And I feel like sometimes we think of ourselves, or me, I think of myself, and sometimes I'm still holding on to like, Lord, I wish I would have did that. Okay, the Lord has already forgiven you. Why are you even thinking about that? You know what I'm saying? So when I am having more compassion, because that's what it was about. It was recovering my sense of compassion. And so, but the last thing I want to say is this: it leaves you. It mentions this critical thing, which is the artist's U-turn. So this book, The Artist's Way, is about being unblocked as an artist. And these are the ways that it unblocks you, which is recovering your sense of strength, recovering your sense of passion, of compassion. So one of the things that it mentions in the recovering a sense of compassion is the U-turn, like how you will be praying for something. The Lord will send it immediately, as he always does, but then you'll get it, and then you'll start having a U-turn. Like, somebody asks you for, the script that I wrote, and I'm like, oh no, I can't be giving her, I don't trust her. Now, here's the lesson I learned with that. There's a fine line between the U-turn and discern. Fine line between U-turn and discern. Like, hey, Bernard, how are you doing? Thank you so much. Because I did come upon somebody asked for our script. They wanted to help us with the deck. And I simply asked, okay, well, can you send me your previous work? That's it. That's a question that someone is going to ask you in this town. In order to work in this town, when I submit to agents, I submit my projects. You think I can walk up on somebody and tell them I got a good idea, and they'd be like, well, let's come on, sit down and let's talk about funding. No, they're going to be like, okay, what have you done? What have you produced before? What have you acted in? They want to know my credibility. Well, when I asked this person, never heard from them again. I was thinking to myself, dang, I just read about this artist U-turn. And the Lord was like, daughter, that wasn't a U-turn. That was discernment. Okay. Now, when I ran into my homegirl, who I'd already worked with her on producing content before, and she asked me for the deck and the script right immediately, I was like, I'm going to send it to you right now. And she was like, if you're feeling funny about sending me the script, and I was like, actually, I'm going to send it to you right now. She was like, she was like, thank God, Dale, because sometimes people are, they're funny acting about their scripts. They feel like somebody's going to do something with it. But I knew right then and there, don't take a creative U-turn. You just asked the Lord to sell this film. Now you were sleepy as all get out before you came to this show. You wasn't even going to come. Now at the end of the show, the Lord has this girl come and ask me, Dale, do you have any scripts? Because I know somebody that's producing something. Yes, I do it. You're just on the phone earlier saying I need to sell a script last week, and now a person who is a producer asks you for a script. That's the Lord. That is when not to take a creative U-turn. I was like, I'm about to send it to you right now. In fact, I got this other show that I just did. I'm about to send that to you too. And then I was doubted. Then I was like, oh, the footage is not, it's raw footage. It's maybe, I should send it to her with a The Lord was like, don't take a creative U-turn. Send her the raw footage. And then when you finish editing, send her that footage too, so she can see how the raw footage came together. See what I'm saying? Discerning. She is the person to send it to. And then guess what she says at the end of our conversation? She wasn't even going to come to the show either. She was like, she was sleepy, but she just said to herself, she said she was going to go, so she was going to go. And I said the same thing at home. So it was like the Lord was saying, okay, I'm going to put it together. Okay, I'm going to put y'all together. Delisa, you pray for something, and I'm going to put it together. So, compassion, creative U-turn. Okay, that's all I want to say. Happy Thursday. I got to get back to work. And thank y'all so much for kicking it with me on the live. Love y'all. I was about to be like, y'all don't forget to join me on Tuesdays on my Dale Show. But guys, I'm gonna be promoting that too. I love y'all. Bless y'all. Have a great. See ya.